And we ended up finding out in this interview that Mr. Talk Sexuality Nothing Else has moved to Atlanta.
But wait, there's more. Hang on to your seat, baby, cause this one's a screamer, a screamer.
What's going on, YouTube? So today I'm going to be talking about William the Baddest interview that he did with Rocky on BGC's Baddie's Life podcast. Before I get started, make sure you guys hit that like button. Make sure you guys hit that subscribe button. Let me know what you guys think about this topic. So William went on Rocky's podcast or whatever. You know how I like to do my recaps of her interviews, and it actually was really good. We actually learned some really good stuff. You feel me? Some really, really good stuff. So it started off with William talking about his parents having like a drug history or whatever. It's not surprising. I'm not trying to be stereotypical, but like, you know, when you look at somebody, you feel like they've went through certain stuff just off of looking at them, and it's so messed up to say because it's like you're low-key judging them. So when he said it, I wasn't surprised, just because I don't know. Y'all know what I'm saying if y'all know what I'm saying. So, but I low-key feel like he's a hypocrite about that because I remember he posted, it was like on a BGC blog. He was talking about how Dylan is a METH head, right? Head, and how when he punched him, blows coming out his side of his mouth because he's an METH head. So I'm just like, you making fun of people having drug addictions, but you just made fun of him for allegedly having one. So I'm like, that's hypocritical, but that's besides the point. And we find out all the shows that William has been on. Y'all know William. I wanted him to do this throughout the whole episode because the Willem is good for doing this to you. He's not good for doing this. He's doing the lips perch, but he wasn't on that because he was in a happy mood. It was a joyous occasion or whatever. So yeah, he talked about all the shows he was on. That boy was on X Factor. Of course, we know he was on Catfish. He's gonna be on Judge Mathis soon. He's gonna be on Dr. Phil soon. So he's gotten the clout, to be honest. That was surprising to me because I didn't know he was like, you feel me? I know he was on some reality shows, but I didn't know like MTV and Viacom really backed him on his like that, to be honest. So you got to give him credit for that because it does show that he has some sort of clout or whatever, and he has a little bit of notoriety and fame with these networks. He reminds me of like the white version of Judy, because I remember Judy used to be like, I'm gonna be on another network, and I worked with other networks. Like, it's giving me Judy. It's giving me Judy. It's giving me Judy. So he talked about the online hate he's gotten. Rocky's just like, oh my god, like I read all the comments. You get like a lot of hate. You get a lot of hate. Why do you get so much hate? And then he's just like, yeah, because like I'm just willing, I'm the baddest of the fattest, and like they call me the fattest, but correction. So the things with Willem, like I've said in previous videos, I feel like he gets too much hate for all the stuff that he do. I feel like some of y'all take this show too serious. It's not as serious. Like, in my opinion, like he didn't do nothing in there in the house to get all the hate that he does. You would have thought he called one of the black cast members an N-word or something crazy to the point where he would deserve that type of hate. So in my opinion, these fans would be taking it too serious. So he talked about the whole Milan and Rio situation. So he basically confirmed what Anthony said in that Instagram post, because he said that the reason why Rio came is because Milan kind of went crazy and was like, oh, if I'm gonna stay in this house, I need Rio to come in as a replacement, whatever. He kind of went crazy on his Zeus producers and stuff like that. So he did back that claim up. So we got that out of that interview because he did back that claim up, because there was speculation that that's why Rio got to come, because it's like, why everybody get to call their friends and call who they're talking to or whatever. So yeah, he talked about how he got on Catfish and how he met the guy on OnlyFans and blase, blase, blase. He said he's going to be on a new show again with Stormy from One More Chance. I remember the girl with the big curly hair, whatever. So the girl is working. You know how Regina said, we're working. We're working. We're working. She's working. Like, she's working. You got to give her that. Like, you got to give Willem that. And we also find out that Willow is a barb. What a surprise. You could look at Willem and tell he's a barb. So here's the thing. Rocky's channel might get attacked because he she called out the Barb. She was just like, she said something about Cardi and Nicki. She was like something Cardi and Nicki. Cardi's like the greatest rapper, something to that effect. And then Willem's like, no, she's not. Nicki is. I'm a Barb. I was like, oh God, here we go. Here we it go, right? So after Willem says that, Rocky's like, oh, well, Nicki has no personality. And I'm like, did she just say that? Her comments are gonna be lit ablaze. I was surprised though. A lot of people didn't go in on her comments, but it's probably because a lot of bars probably didn't pick up on what she said yet. But once they do, they're going to attack, right? Because they're gonna eat her the hell up. Because she says Nicki has no personality, which I think Nicki does have personality. I feel like in the recent years though, she's become less likable. I'll say that she's become a lot less likable because of how she's been acting towards other female rappers and other people in the industry. So I'll give Cardi that, right? So then, Rocky might want to be careful with stuff she says to the about the Barbs because you're gonna end up back on that Bad and Bougie podcast, girl. So then it's a two-part interview. So the second part, he starts talking about the pool fight. So we start talking about the pool fight or whatever, and then the pool fight, we get an explanation of how it even happened. So apparently Milan is the one that called him up and was like, hey, like pull up, we having a pool party, blase, 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 right? Pull up on the pool party, blah, blah, blah. So it was kind of like Milan and the producers both setting up this scene and kind of setting him up. So yeah. And then we hear about this friend, this hater friend of Anthony's. And I want to know who this is, to be honest. I'm looking to do my research because I want to find out who this hater friend of Anthony is. Because he has alluded to it before in other interviews and other like social media posts about how Anthony has this friend that hates Willem, and that's the person who kind of caused him and Anthony to kind of fall out. So the hater friend or whatever is cool with Anthony, is friends with Anthony. So when Willem got the call to be on the show, him and Anthony were cool. They hung out during the summertime, I guess, before. Half of the cast I found out in this interview knows each other. William even revealed that Darrell came over to his house before the show. Like they knew each other before the show and everything. And I'm like, this is why this season is not the best. Don't get me wrong, it's not horrible, but it's because they all kind of knew each other in some way and facet. With the original BGC, they didn't know each other at all. So it caused a lot of drama because you don't know these people like that. So of course, you're not gonna care if you hurt their feelings, or you're not gonna care. You get what I'm saying? Like, you're not gonna care to rub them the wrong way because I don't know you from a can of paint. Like, screw you. Whether it be like you know them through the industry, you kind of know each other. You feel me? It's gonna be kind of weird to go at somebody that you kind of know. So, yeah. So that friend or whatever is cool. Is friends with Anthony, and doesn't like Willem. So when Willem said, "Hey, I made the show," he texts Anthony, "Hey, I made the show." Blase, blase, blase. Pretty and paid. We're gonna be pretty and paid. We're gonna be pretty and paid, right? On the show, Anthony was like, "Oh, let me go tell my friend, the hater friend." The hater friend went and tell Lemmy, and apparently they work for Zeus. That's what I'm getting from this interview. Tell Lemmy to try to not get him casted on the show. So he felt some type of way about that because it's like, damn, like I could have not been casted on the show because you snitched on me. Because when you get casted on the show, you're not supposed to tell anybody you got casted on the show unless it's like your immediate family and you getting about where you live to go film the show. So they need to know where you at. Right. So that explains it. And then we found out about the whole moolah situation. So he was just like, the reason why, like, no, before I get to the moolah situation, we get into the whole Darrell thing about him fighting Darrell. So Willa was like, oh, so like when Darrell, like me and Darrell knew each other like outside of the house. And like when he ran up on me, I was like, what the fuck? What the fuck? Like, I was like, fuck. That's Willem's favorite word is the F word. I was like, bruh. He said he was surprised that like Darrell kind of ran up on him and tried to fight him because it's like they were supposed to be cool. So the fact that he tried to fight him for the cameras and fight him for the clout, he felt some type of way about that because it's like it wasn't needed, which I get, right? So then we get to Mr. Talk Sexuality, nothing else, because that's what we all talking about over here. So we get to the fact of the whole moolah situation about him twerking on moolah. He's still adamant that he didn't twerk on moolah. I believe in Willem. He didn't twerk on moolah. Zeus would have showed it. There's no reason why they wouldn't show it. Why would they need to protect Willem? Because his whole ass crack was shown on television, which he also talked about too, saying that he was embarrassed because they showed that he had the what's it called, the plumber's crack on TV, which is so embarrassing. Zeus, you had to show that boy butt crack. So he was saying he felt like he was going to get hit because certain things that were happening on the show. He didn't go into specifics because I guess he's trying not to get in trouble with Zeus. But I get what he was basically saying. Like certain producers were running around and security was kind of inching around. So he was thinking like, hey, this boy about to knock me in my ish. It makes sense. So now it kind of makes sense, right? And we also find out that Mixed Talk Sexuality Nothing Else has moved to Atlanta, the gay capital of the world. Isn't that ironic? Isn't that irony, right? And then we also started talking about the whole DL situation. He was talking about certain cast members. Rocky asked him how he feels about certain cast members, about like Moolah and everything. He was saying how he thinks Moolah still is trying to figure himself out. You know, he's trying to talk more sexuality with himself, which I kind of get. Somebody told me that they feel like they should bring Moolah back on the next season and have his coming out story. I say y'all wrong. Y'all is so wrong for that. So he started talking about the whole Shauna Brooks situation with Benzino and how he sleeps. He has slept with high-level dudes and high-level men, but he can't really talk about it because he signed like an NDA and everything like that, which I believe because we've heard the Jeffree Star situation. Like he slept, Jeffree Star has slept with a lot of celebrities, high-level rappers and celebrities and everything like that, right? And we haven't heard of people about it because once you sign that paper, you're gonna get sued or you're gonna get killed. So you don't want to do either one of those. So I do believe him because Willem just looks like the type that would get hit up by these high-level dudes and be kept a secret, in my opinion, right? And then he starts talking about his BBL. He got it 6 months before COVID. And the thing is with Willem, I will say this about him. I like his confidence. You can't really knock him down. Like, we know he's scary. He's not a bad boy. He's really a scary person, but he's really confident in himself. You can't knock that, and you can't take that from him. So you got to appreciate that with Willem, okay? You really do. You really do. Let me know what you guys thought about this interview, because it was some interesting nuggets in this interview, especially the whole Mr. Talk Sexual, nothing else, moving to the ATL, baby. Willem was just like, he thinks that I was a shock to him. Imagine him moving to ATL and driving down and seeing a trans girl walking down the street. He's gonna be like, crash! Like, like that was funny to me. So, gotta give Willem that. Let me know what you guys think about this interview, y'all. Was it as good as I talked about it and how it was? What did you guys think about some of the stuff that he had to say? What the whole behind the scenes stuff that happened? Leave your comments down below. Entertainers, we are out.
No personal thing.